What if I told you that your inability to receive money, love, pleasure is not a character flaw, it's a story. All of us are living 4 stories. When we understand these stories, when we become aware of them, these stories can become the leverage, the key that will allow us to grow spiritually, to grow professionally, to grow in giving to the world our soul purpose, our soul gift. In this video, I'm going to share with you what these 4 stories are so that you can actually find the key towards your best life. Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Blanca Vergara, and here we talk about how to expand our ability to receive in a feminine way. Receive the whole enchilada. Joy, rest, ease, safety, money, vitality, vibrancy, all effortlessly feminine. This video is very special for me because after almost 2 decades of helping women go back to their power, after reading countless books on spirituality, feminine awakening, my own journey, I figure out the 4 key elements that make sense of all this creative storm. The answer came very easily while playing with my children. We picked cards from the oracle deck and I got this one. And I'm really impressed because after this card, with these 4 characters, books started really popping out of my bookshelf on the right pages, repeating the same message of 4. Clients talking to them and the message got reinforced. And now I have created a framework that I want to share with you today of these 4 archetypes. And it is absolutely a harmonic with my Aztec upbringing, with Hellenistic astrology, with Christian way of thinking. It's just, I get the goosebumps to tell you how excited I am about this. Because this feels to me like the door for you, for me, towards all that we are wanting. To stop trying to be fully ourselves, but to notice, to open our eyes that is just a veil, it's just a story that is preventing us from being fully ourselves. What are these 4 veils, those 4 stories, archetypal stories? I have given them specific names. They are the silent sage, when we self-censor ourselves, the silent sage, the burning out heroine, the one that works is hard with herself, the thirsty lover, the one who is so thirsty for the waters of love, and the shooting queen, the one who wants to control everything and wants to have everything right. Today, at the end of this video, you will hear 4 stories of these 4 archetypes of 4 clients of mine that have gone from not knowing where they were, becoming aware, and that awareness transforming their lives. Here, I'm going to give you access to a quiz that I have created if you have questions about which archetype is more active in my life right now. You can take it, and after you take it, you have a handout full of journaling questions, articles, quotes that will help you leverage this archetype. Because you see, these stories, we are not going to be able to get rid of them. It's not about conquering them or, slaughtering the dragon. It's about making friends with that dragon, making friends with that archetype, and transforming this darkness of the silent sage into, the fully expressed you, the shooting queen to the wise sovereign. All of them have a light side, and awareness and devotional practice is what makes a difference. So I invite you, pick up your favorite drink. Today for me is water because it's really hot here in Amsterdam. And let's get cracking. Let's talk about Sarah, our silent sage. She used to work in a really male-dominated environment, in kind of a military environment. Can you imagine generals walking around her in an area of operations? And she had a master's in operations. She was highly qualified. But she was a woman and a foreigner in the country where she was living. So she was really scared of speaking because it was not her native tongue, because she was not a general, because she was not a man. She had all these reasons why she thought she wouldn't speak. She thought nobody would be interested in if she had something to say. She came to me at that point because she wanted to grow in her career and she was just silent. She wanted to speak up. She knew she needed to speak up. There was awareness of the need of speaking up. When she became aware of the fact that, she was aware that she was silent, but she was not aware that she was a sage. She was not aware of her own wisdom. To work with her by becoming aware of her own wisdom was what made a huge difference. The shared awareness of the identity as a wise woman. So she started asking wise questions. As she started asking questions, the generals started looking at her. Because questions bring the wisdom out. And still, she could be comfortably evolving from being silent to being fully expressed. She took tiny devotional steps in every single meeting, in every single email, expressing herself just a little bit more, just a little bit more, just a little bit more. In fact, she made of the silence a power. As she started expressing a little bit more and asking questions, when she became silent, people started asking questions to her. The transformation was so powerful that she got promoted. She told me, I cannot believe it, Blanca. It is like I am a different person. Everybody tells me that I am a different person, but I know that this is who I have always been. The burning heroine, Bertha. Bertha was the burning heroine when she started working with me. She was aware that she was burning. She was tired. Her body started to give symptoms to her. Her eyes were getting worse and worse and worse while walking on the computer. She had pains and aches in all her body, not able to sleep, not able to rest, no matter how much yoga she did. She was just burning. The thing that definitely she was not aware is how heroic she was, how good she was, how transformational and professional she was. As we started working at first by becoming aware that she was a burning heroine, her awareness started growing and saying, hey, I don't need to save everybody. They can take responsibility. I can say no to this. I have done enough. I may rest. This was such a huge transformation for her. I may rest. First, I started by saying no to some meetings, to setting boundaries and set deliverables. She started saying, well, I don't do this report. I told you she was an accountant. And when she was at her best of this transformation is when she said, guys, I'm going on holiday. She transformed this burning heroine into indeed a firing heroine, a heroine for herself, not saving everybody else outside herself, but started caring for her own self. As she went on holiday, she took a distance from that work. And she realized that that fire that she was feeling, deep fire, was actually not in accounting. She wanted to work in sustainability. So she figured, why don't I use all this fire to transform my career? So after the holidays, she started studying something else. She started a diploma or a certification. She changed her career. The burning disappeared and the heroism stayed. It was a powerful transformation because as she transformed her career, everything behind got transformed. Her intimate relationship, her relationship with her mother, her relationship with her children, she became available. She was able to master the fire that was very powerful in her. From burning to nourishing fire. The thirsty lover, Tricia. Tricia was attracting consistently abusive partners. And seriously abusive. One was an addict. When she was able to escape him, she attracted immediately one who basically was abusing her emotionally. He will tell her how inadequate she was constantly. She was dominated by this archetype, the thirsty lover. It was like her entire life, she was in a desert of love. There was no way of receiving the quenching waters of love, of swimming in her emotions, of swimming in love and receiving love. The sheer awareness of she being a thirsty lover started her transformation. She realized this way of relating is not what I want for the rest of my life. And I actually want a family. This is not the kind of example that I want to give to my children, especially if they are daughters. She said to herself, and we started working together to see what it was to be in this archetype. And this archetype is very special because this archetype, the dominant element is, as you might have already felt, water. And water is the ultimate feminine archetype. So her work here was to own her femininity, to own the watery, flowing nature of herself. As she started playing with that, with embodiment exercises, with being present with water, with even drinking water, journaling, coaching conversations, we went deep. She released all these people. She was able to take time by herself to be without any boyfriend and love herself so deeply and feeling innerly nourished. She became so beautiful. It's just insane when I see the photos of her before and after. You won't believe it, it's so exciting. She found a guy. She got pregnant. She gave birth a couple of months ago. And you can feel that relationship is healthy, healthy, healthy. He, she, the child, powerful. Because she decided to own her feminine, watery nature. Source from within, source from the safety of water. It transformed everything. Now she just gave birth to her child and she feels so full of energy that she's starting to write her book. It is just so very exciting when women are embodying this flow, infinitely powerful nature of water. The shooting queen, Shona. Shona was perfect. She was working for a multinational. And I met her through a team exercise, a team building exercise. And you could see the difference between herself and everybody else. She was the first one to arrive. She was the first one to deliver something. Her documents had absolutely no mistake. She was working full time and she was studying her MBA. It was incredible how perfect this woman was. Her clothes were fully ironed. Her shoes were absolutely perfect. And you know what really made her angry? That the rest of the world was not doing that. They should dress better. They should arrive on time. They should. And that gave her so much anger within. She was angry at her boss. She was angry at her colleagues. She was angry at her mother, at the neighbor, at everybody. Very big anger for them not being everything that they could be. She realized that this anger was really hurting her. She had some pains, how do you call it, pain here, so burn, stomach burn. Her body started to tell her that this was not the way forward. Being angry at everybody, constantly pushing, constantly shooting, was hurting her. The moment when she contacted me was when she was not promoted at work. How is it possible that I do things completely perfect and they don't promote me? They should. After she did my quiz, I noticed that she was embodying the shooting queen. Resistance went down. We started paying attention to what she was thinking that should change, making an awareness list of all her shoots, how reality should be different. And then he noticed that there was a big difference between the things that were her business somebody else's business, or God's business. She started to release this responsibility of things that she couldn't influence. And when she ended up on the things that were her business, the conversation became more profound because compassion started dribbling. She started seeing that maybe being 1 minute late was okay. That the tone of blue of her clothes, of her shoes and her trousers could be different. That perfection allows for minor flaws. As she started to focus on the beauty of reality, she became more compassionate for others, for herself. As a devotional practice, she started praising reality, falling in love with reality. Her entire life changed. It really worked like if she owned this queen archetype. She was on top of the world. That shouldn't be different. That shouldn't change. On the contrary, it was beautiful as it was. Acceptance. Her life has changed dramatically. She left that company. She started her own business. She is working with others, partnership. She found a boyfriend. I was a husband, almost, not yet married. But it's very exciting to see how things have changed for her. Stop shooting, start loving what is. Which of these archetypes spoke to you? Which one do you feel identified with? Did you notice some patterns? Are you confused among them? I have created a quiz so that you can see, after very few questions, which one is more dominant right now. And I really please remember that there is no shame or guilt about being in any of these stories. They are full with possibility. In fact, when you take the quiz, you will receive a handout with journaling questions that will allow you to transform this story into what you're wanting, expanding your ability to receive. If this was helpful, no. Share in the comment below which archetype is calling you. Do you feel called by several of them? What moved you? If this video resonated with you, please share it. Other women need to know about this, and comment below which archetype is the one that is more resonant to you. Like, share, subscribe, and please come back next week for more. Wishing you an absolutely wonderful week. May this help you in your ability to effortlessly in your journey towards expanding your ability to receive effortlessly, femininely, easily. Have a wonderful, wonderful week.